Welcome to this message, this very random message. Um, so I've been getting more and more comments about just like who I am, how I got into tarot, my journey, everything that led me to this point. Obviously, I know I'm not very important. Okay, I don't think I'm the shit or nothing like that. But I do just want to make this video for the people that I don't know, want answers because I'm not going to reply to every single comment. But when I was thinking about it, all of the answers, they had a common theme and it just all came down to faith and just believing in something bigger than myself. And so I don't know, my spirit kind of guided me to make this video just to talk about the power of faith and believing in something, right? Even if it is yourself that you're believing in, but believing in something that is more often than not greater than yourself. Because we all know what faith is, right? I'm not here to give you a 101 on faith, but I feel like it might be a nice gentle reminder for some just about the importance of faith and the power of faith and how it impacts all of us, right? Whether we know it or not. Faith is something that you choose to believe in or not, and it's something that can have very influential impacts on your life. And when I was reflecting on my life and the things I've been through, it just comes down to faith. And I think that's a beautiful thing. But I guess just to get the basic who I am, how I got here, my life, whatever. I am 22 years old. I love tarot cards. I love reading. I love healing. Healing sucks. Healing fucking sucks. But I also love the beauty in healing, or what's on the other side of healing. And really it's all about the journey. Easier said than done, but I like helping people heal. So I think that's how I got into tarot. I don't know. The cards found me. It's kind of eerie. I'm not going to give you like the full in-depth story about how these cards found me, but it is very strange. I feel like I'm walking on my path, or I'm closer to it by taking this path, right? Reading the cards, but that all came down to faith too. Like, I don't know. I don't want to like tell all my business, so I'm not going to do that. But faith is something that you cannot, once you know what you believe in, right? We all come from different backgrounds. We believe in different things. Just because you're into tarot or cards does not mean you are one thing or another. You're not condemned to hell if you like cards. I saw some crazy comment about that. However you connect with spirit, however you connect with yourself, your intuition, your higher self, source energy, that is completely up to you. You're not going to be punished by any cosmic source for connecting with yourself, for healing yourself, for connecting with your intuition. And however you choose to do it, that's on you. So I've gotten many comments, like a few comments, I'll say, like this, like, stop doing tarot, you're gonna go to hell. I used to practice and now I just follow the Lord. And like, good for you. You do your path, I'm gonna do my path. Don't tell me where I'm going, because I know what I'm doing. I had to think about it a little, because at first I was like wanting to believe it, like doubting my faith, right? Like doubting myself. Is this the wrong path? Is reading these cards and helping heal people, am I going to a bad place for this? For trying to help, for trying to, okay, let's be sensible, right? No, however you connect with source is how you connect with source. Source energy would not put these cards on this earth if they weren't meant to be touched, right? I mean, I say that with a grain of salt, because if you try to apply that to everything, then it's choppy waters. But regardless, I feel like these interacting with these cards and experiencing them, and I feel like that's a big part of my identity now. But who I was before this, it was all still about the faith. It was all based on my faith in my higher power. I never was one to like conform to Christianity or any religion per se. I just believed in God. Like I just believed in that word. You know what I mean? I just believed in something because I knew there's everything I experienced from since I can have remember my memories until I don't know 17, 18, 19, 20. Like that shit ain't just random. For me, it's not just random, right? For you, it can be. You know, you don't have to believe in anything. You can believe in yourself, and that is still 100% valid on my channel, at least. But the faith is the key here. Believing in something outside of yourself, or at least believing in yourself in a way that forces you to grow, forces you to heal, forces you to admit to yourself that you don't have all the answers. Because from my experience, and I'm sure from a lot of your experiences, we want to have the answers. We often find through experiencing life that we don't. But we learn as we grow, right? As we experience, we learn, and then we get the answers. But it all for me, it's like I'll just I'll give you I guess I'll give you a couple personal examples. So when I was 16, I was not conformed to any religion, believed in a higher power. I called it God. I still like, I don't know. I was surrounded by Christians and I still believed in God, but I knew that I just I didn't resonate with everything that religion was telling me I was or how to live my life. But I resonated with like the parts I resonated with. But I was, I got my first car and I was, wow, this is the start of a crazy journey for me. I was just racing a friend. It was raining, roads were wet. I was going 70, he was going 60. It was a 35, like the speed limit was 35 miles per hour. It was very unsafe and dangerous, but we were also 16 and just, we weren't thinking right, you know? I still don't feel like my brain is, I feel like I'm still growing. I'm still learning, you know? I'm not grown. I ain't shit. But I do feel like I've learned a lot since then. But back then, we were being reckless just for the fun of it. And I ended up crashing into like a brick wall, like just like there was no cars on the road, just me and my friend. And I just crashed into a brick wall. And if you go, I mean, you can see pictures of it if you look deep enough into my life, which I hope none of you do. Um, that car was fucked. I definitely should not have lived going 70 miles per hour into a brick wall. But what happened when I like hit the wall, everything went white. Pretty sure it was just the airbag. But when I like came back to my senses, the only thing that I could see, windows were shattered, everything was broken, right? My body was perfectly fine, but everything in the car, tires popped, all that. But the only thing that I saw when I opened my eyes was this little Bible that I kept in that little glove compartment in the middle. And it was just the Bible. And I was just like, okay, so God might be real. I might need to be a Christian. That's eerie. And then there just kept being these experiences, right? And it wasn't to me, it wasn't necessarily because I still was a believer in a higher power, right? But to me, it wasn't necessarily this one religion that I was supposed to conform to. It was continuing to maintain this faith because I feel like that is what has kept me protected throughout all my years, because that was just the start of a lot of stupid things that I did. You know, we've all been teenagers at one point or another in our life, you know, and some of us got off easier than others. But I feel like I feel like my faith, just my fucking, and I'm just trying to give you guys a gentle reminder about the importance of faith and the power of faith, because we're starting at 16, but we're going to bring it, I'll speed it up, but we'll get to where I'm at now and how faith is just like got me to where I am. Again, I reiterate, I am not shit. I don't think I'm anybody. I just know a lot of you have been curious about who I am and how I got here. So I'm kind of giving you that story, but faith is how I got here. I think I'm at the beginning of a long, long journey for myself. Again, I'm only 22 years old, but I also feel like I wouldn't have been able to get to this point or even walk this path if I didn't constantly and always believe in something that was bigger than myself. You know, the it takes a very strong person or a very vulnerable person to be able to admit that they don't have all the answers. You know, that they are not the center of the universe. They are not. It takes a very real ass, to me in my opinion, it takes a really real ass person to admit, like, I I don't know what any of this is. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I got here, but I'm blessed to be here. You know, I'm blessed to have survived through this experience, or I'm blessed to have endured this experience, or gotten to, you know, I'm blessed to have experienced the joy that this experience brought me. Like, it's all bigger than us. And I feel like we need to remind ourselves of this, because when we get disconnected from that frequency, it's not that you're a bad person. It's just like you're a human, you know, you have an ego. We all need our ego, but we have to learn how to temper our ego. And I feel like the ego is the main thing, or the most common thing that gets in between us and our faith, or us and our belief in something that is bigger than us, you know. I'm not out here trying to be a preacher and like tell you to believe in God or nothing like that. It's like whatever you believe in, keep believing in it, right? Even if it's yourself, whatever you can cling on to that puts you, whatever you can make, however you make sense of this world, allow yourself to make sense of this world through that route. Because I feel like it's not about what you believe in. I don't think any religion is right or wrong. I think it's I think it's all one. And I think that believing in something, period, is the key to actually being in tune with yourself, with your higher self, and in alignment with the path that you're supposed to be on. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm telling you from my personal experience. I never believed or conformed to anything. I just believed in something. I just knew something was out there, you know? I knew something was fucking protecting me. Like, by the time I was 20 years old, by the time I was 20 years old, oof, I've been through 4 cars. I've been to jail. I got a bachelor's degree. I fucking got my associate's degree the same day that I got my high school diploma. Like, I played, I was a very well-known person. I did a lot of different artistic avenues. Like, I did so much in such a little time. And I can't give that credit to anyone except my God, you know, source, the universe. I can't give that credit to anyone except that, because through all the ups and the downs, oh yeah, and I got my heart broke way too many fucking times. As you can tell through my channel, like, you can't heal something if you have not been broken before, you know? You can't heal if you just lived a fucking cookie cutter life and you're just following this outline of what this religion tells you to do or what this person tells you how to live. Like, you have to go through the shit to be able to help other people get through the shit. So I'm not out here just bullshitting you guys, and I don't know. I like being authentic. I want to be more vulnerable with you guys, but I just know that there is like certain boundaries that I need to have with you and myself and whoever's watching me. But I really do want to just keep reiterating this message. Like, it's just a gentle reminder. I know you have your own faith, and that's a beautiful thing. Don't lose sight of it, because that's what's going to get you to where you want to go. That's what's going to help you progress and become the person that you want to be. Even if you're 70 years old, right? Watching my channel, like, you've lived a very eventful life, but continue to stay focused on that source of what your life, of what it all derives from, right? You're not from your parents. You're not from your mom, from your dad. You're not from this background, this town. You're from source. You're from your source, you know? And then take that with a grain of salt, because that might offend some people. But if you believe in something bigger than yourself, then you know that's where you come from. You come from that thing. You are that thing, you know? So I feel like the more that we can all kind of come to this common ground of understanding our oneness, but also understanding that our oneness, we live individual lives, and this world is so divided, and that's okay. That's shitty, but that's okay. But we need to respect each other through being divided. We need to understand that not everybody is gonna think what you think or feel how you feel, but as long as we can understand we're all one, right? I'm trying to, this is so hard to explain. So let's break it down like this. We got 20, 30, 50 different religions, whatever. And this is not about religion at all, because I'm not really that religious. But we all believe in these different things. But the more that we can understand that these different things are just creations of man, of humankind, to put, okay, we all want to be the best, right? We all want to be better than one another. That's why all this stuff, in my opinion, was created, right? There is no right or wrong, because we all created it so that we could be better than the next or better than one another. So the more that we can kind of come to this realistic point of view that maybe we're all just from the same thing, right? Maybe we're all right. Maybe none of us are right. Regardless, we're all humans. We're all flesh. And so I feel like the more that I grew up and the more that I started to understand this concept that we are cut from the same cloth. No matter how much we want to convince each other that we're not, we really are. And some people might just hate that, and that's okay. Those people aren't ready to take that next step, and no shade to them, right? But the more that we can kind of like be on each other's team and understand, like, we're all going through shit because we're cut from the same cloth. Oh, you're a human too? This shit's fucked up, right? Like, how the fuck did I get here? I don't know, but it's fucked. But it's also so beautiful. The more that we can kind of find that common ground and understand that it is faith that is the root. Like, our common ground is the faith. It is the source. It is, I call it spirit because that's just such a general like term, right? And I wish that I could call it another word, but I feel like that's just how people will resonate most. But we need to understand, we need to stop dividing, and we need to start conjoining or at least supporting one another. And I don't know, I ain't no activist or nothing like that, but I do want fucking peace and love for the world. I want us to understand that we've all been through our shit, and we've all been tested by our faith. And that is the one thing that we can all relate with each other, or relate to with each other, you know? The fact that when we had nobody else, when we didn't have any answers, we didn't know what to do, we asked our higher power, we asked our source. And for some reason, the answers were given to us, or the situation worked itself out in a way that we feel blessed to have experienced. You can't sit here and tell me that you never have, if you believe in something bigger than yourself, you can't sit here and tell me that you never have been lost, prayed to something that you couldn't see but you believed in, and then shit worked out for you, or you got the answers that you needed. That's faith. That's believing in that one thing that connects us all. And I just feel like that's so powerful, and it needs to be. I probably won't make a video like this ever again, but I'll leave this one up just because this is a powerful message, and there was a reason that I was called to do this. I've been doing this for like 20 minutes, goddamn. But yeah, that's just my little spiel. How I got here today is, fuck, I was relying on my faith a little too hard. I thought, oh, that's funny. I don't know. I used to make music, and I really believed in myself. I've always believed in myself because I know, I don't know. I have a lot to share. I have a lot of emotions. I'm a very sensitive person, so I feel like I feel like sensitive people, they have a loud opinion sometimes. Even though they want to be quiet, they have loud opinions. And I just fucking relied on my faith so much so to the point to where I started, my faith, my God, my higher power started revealing to me the real intentions, or the real thoughts, the real motives about who was surrounding me. And once all that shit got revealed, once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. So it kind of just made me change up how I was carrying myself, who I was confiding in, who I was trusting. It was a very heartbreaking time, but at the same time, I was getting this voice in my head, my intuition, I guess. It kept telling me to make this tarot channel. And I was like, no, I'm going to make music. I'm going to succeed at music. I'm going to be the best there ever was. And da da da. Bunch of ego trying to muddle my faith, And I straight up ignored it for 3 months. But it's funny because as I was ignoring it every single day, I would you guys know how some of you that have been here for a long time on my channel, like how I used to have the backgrounds, like there would just be a bunch of posters or like random shit on the wall. Every single day I would change something on the wall. Like I would add something and change something. I wouldn't record any videos, but for 3 months, that wall was just constantly shifting. And I was always telling the person that I was with at the time, I was like, dude, this tarot channel, it's gonna be something. I'm telling you, it's gonna fucking work. She was like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I just think that's the funniest shit ever. Because I was I wasn't even making videos. I was just so convinced. My faith was telling me to do it, so I just knew. And then we fast forward to today. It's there's a reason that my spirit was telling me, bro, you're not a fucking music star. But you can help people with the knowledge you have and the shit you've been through with these cards. So do that. And I followed that path. And it's working out better than I thought, right? Like I said, there's still a long journey to go. And I'm not trying to rush it because it's all about the journey. It's not about the destination, but it is all about faith. I really do believe that. 37 viewers and 37 likes. This is where I got it in this message. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions for me, I will gladly answer them. If not, that was my message about faith and how I got here. I trust in myself. I trust in my spirit. And I'm not shit. I don't know if I ever will be shit, but I know that I got my faith with me, so I know I'll be all right. Yeah, the artistic wall was my favorite. It might come back one day. I just had to I don't know. There's a lot going on in those walls over time. It was like always changing. There was always just stuff that didn't need to be there, but I wanted to fill the space, and so I just did. I was actually going to do a video for Gemini, but I kept getting this word faith in my head, and I was like, all right, let's try it out. $11.55. Judgment. I feel like a lot of you are so much more. I mean, if you're into like spirituality at all or the tarot cards or whatever, I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit for how tuned in you are with your higher self. I feel like a lot of you are looking for answers that you already have. And there's some water. And I feel comfortable saying that because throughout my whole life, I've been looking for answers. I need answers. I've always needed them. They bring me comfort. They bring me peace. Even if it's just like confirmation of what I thought and already knew, like, if that brings you peace and comfort, keep seeking that. But I feel like a lot of you do have these answers that you're seeking within you. You might be fearful or uncertain about how to take that extra step to get to those answers. Because it does come with admitting or accepting or acknowledging things that we absolutely would rather avoid, right? Not everything in life is so pretty, especially when it comes to healing. But that's how we get those answers. That's how we get to our next level on an individual, personal level. Like, you can sit there and watch videos all day. I appreciate all of you who watch my videos. Hope you keep doing it. But you can sit there and watch videos all day looking for a certain answer, but if there's no reader that's resonating with you, this is also why I started my channel. If there's no reader that's resonating with you, there's a reason for that, right? If you used to watch this reader and you loved them and then it's like you just don't get the messages anymore, you don't understand it, that's normal. That's expected, especially if you're on a spiritual path. You're growing, you're healing. As is that reader, right? They're not always going to stay the same. They're not always going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what their spirit is, guiding them to express. But, oh yeah, no, I still watch tarot. I still watch tarot card readings. Like, I'm not saying all the answers are within you. Don't watch any readings. Just go deep within and figure it out. No, I'm not saying that. Because we love confirmation. We like to hear what the fuck we were thinking said by another person, so it makes us feel less crazy or less alone, or whatever. Hell yeah, that's facts. And I love that. But if you run into a predicament like I ran into, where I was like, dude, like, I swear I had a lineup. This was before I even like read cards or anything. I was like watching like 15 different readers, and like none of them, for months I was patient, like none of them were just touching on what I was feeling or what I wanted to hear or the confirmation I was looking for. And so eventually I was fed up. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make my own channel. And that's how we got here. Well, that's where the idea started, but then like my spirit was like, no dude, you should actually do that. And I did that. My God calls me dude. I'm kidding. I feel like religion is another reason I never was really attracted to like religion is because it's so damn serious. Like, religion is very, very strict and serious, and if that's what you like, that's what you like. More power to you. But I can't do that. I need to have a relaxed spirit, and if that means I gotta just believe in the word God, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's where I'm at on a personal level in my faith and like how it's got me here. There's so many stories that have just, some of them just not appropriate, but some of them are just like, y'all don't need to know that. But I want to tell you just because you guys are my collective, my little tribe. But, you know, you gotta have boundaries, I guess, as I grow and progress, which I think is lame, but it is smart. I understand it. I understand the feeling. But I'll see you guys soon. 30 minutes. I can keep it under 30 if I press exit now. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed it. Very random video. Oh yeah, no, tarot definitely helped. Damn, I'm over 30. So I'm gonna just keep it going. Tarot was, well, I got into tarot when I was 18. I didn't make this channel until I was 22. Yeah. But from 18 to 22, like, I was definitely reading my own cards and stuff like that. And it was all just to heal, just to like, yeah, I don't know. When you go through, like many of you have experienced, because you're part of my tribe, I know there's a reason you resonate with my readings. Like when you go through certain things in your life at such a unexpected time or an unexpected age, very traumatic things, it's like you can't just walk through life being broken. You gotta try to do something at least to like help yourself. So I feel like that's what tarot was for me. Just trying to make sense of like what the heck I've been through. Which is a beautiful thing, honestly. Thank you for telling me that I'm gifted. I feel like I'm really just a reflection of you guys. Every time I say that, I'm like, no, that was too deep. Don't say that. Those that get it though. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for the $3.73, 3 pounds, euros. I don't know what that is. Canadian money? Someone told me the other day, I forgot. What is that currency? I want to say Canadian dollars. British, fuck. All right. All right. I'm gonna remember that one. British. I do a great British accent, but I don't know if that's like cultural appropriation, so I'm not gonna do it. Thank you. Bye.